We have some WNBA bombshells for you today. Caitlin Clark is breaking records and dominating the courts, but it's not all sunshine and roses. Her former Iowa teammate, Kate Martin, suffered a serious injury during a Las Vegas Aces game, leaving everyone concerned. We'll bring you all the details of this incident and the reactions from her teammates. And that's not all. The debate over Rookie of the Year is heating up. The competition between Caitlin and Reese is fiercer than ever, and even Dan Patrick has weighed in on it. So make sure to subscribe to the channel because we have a lot to talk about today. Folks, let's start by saying that Caitlin Clark continues to make history in the WNBA, and the numbers don't lie. The Indiana Fever is breaking attendance records at every game, whether at home or away. Just imagine, midway through the season, they've already surpassed 409,000 fans in total. That's more than many teams get in an entire season. And it doesn't stop there. Every Fever game is practically an event. The arenas are packed with fans eager to see Clark in action. It's like she's a magnet for spectators. Look, the league is about to take a break for the All-Star Game and the Paris Olympics, and it's already proven that Clark isn't just playing well. She's changing the game. She's getting more people to watch and more people interested in the WNBA. This is what women's basketball needed, a star who draws attention both on and off the court. But it's not all good news, folks. While Clark is shining with the Fever, a sad story has shaken the WNBA world. Kate Martin, Clark's former teammate at Iowa and current player for the Las Vegas Aces, suffered a serious injury during the game against the Chicago Sky. It was tense. With 1 minute and 19 seconds left in the first quarter, Martin took a bad fall while dribbling. She went down immediately, clearly in a lot of pain. The scene was so worrying that her teammates rushed to surround her, with some even using towels to shield her from the cameras. Martin was taken to the locker room and did not return to the game. The official diagnosis was a right leg injury. The good news is she managed to return to the bench in the second half, walking on her own but still limping a bit. For those who don't know, Martin and Clark played together at Iowa and are very close friends. This injury surely affects not only the Aces, but also Clark emotionally. A'ja Wilson, the Aces star, spoke about the importance of caring for Martin as part of the team, protecting her mental and emotional peace. Let's hope it's nothing serious and that Martin gets back on the court soon. We all know how complicated these injuries can be, especially in the middle of the season. Speaking of overcoming obstacles, let's talk about Caitlin Clark's last game against the Minnesota Lynx. Look, it was one of those games that shows why she's so special. At the start, it seemed like it was going to be a tough night for Clark. She was having trouble with her three-point shots, hitting only 2 out of 11 attempts. For many players, that would be enough to shake their confidence, but not Clark. When the game heated up in the fourth quarter, guess who showed up? Clark scored 10 crucial points in that final quarter. To give you an idea, the entire Minnesota Lynx team scored 14 points in the same period. That's right, she almost outscored the entire opposing team by herself. What's even more impressive is that the Lynx is known for having the best defense in the WNBA. But when the pressure mounted, Clark showed why she's considered one of the best. She didn't just score, she also helped orchestrate the Fever's offense. In the end, the Fever won 81-74. Clark finished with a positive plus-minus, showing that even when her shots aren't falling, she finds ways to positively impact the game. The Lynx's coach, Cheryl Reeve, was visibly frustrated. She said her team lost the game more than the Fever won it. But we know that's just a way of speaking. On the scoreboard, what counts is the Fever's victory. This game showed why Clark is so special. She doesn't give up, adapts, and finds ways to win, even when things aren't going well. It's this kind of mentality that makes her a strong candidate for Rookie of the Year. Speaking of Rookie of the Year, folks, the debate is on fire. And it's not just us talking about it. Radio host Dan Patrick has joined the discussion, and he's not kidding around. Patrick was straight to the point. For him, Caitlin Clark is the Rookie of the Year, no discussion. He even said that Clark's passing ability is on another level and is opening doors for the Indiana Fever. But hold on, let's not forget about Angel Reese. She's having an incredible season too. Reese is averaging 13.5 points and 11.9 rebounds per game. Those are impressive numbers for a rookie. Now, let's look at Clark's numbers. 16.8 points and 7.8 assists per game. She's 14th in the league in scoring and 1st in assists. That's a lot. Patrick's argument is interesting. He says Clark has a target on her back in every game. Everyone wants to stop her. Reese, as amazing as she is, doesn't receive the same kind of attention from opposing defenses. Another point Patrick raised is Clark's leadership on a young team. The Fever is 7th in the overall WNBA standings, while Reese's Chicago Sky is 8th. Remember, the top 8 teams, regardless of conference, go to the playoffs. Fans seem to agree with Patrick. Many are saying it's not even a close discussion, that Clark is way above the competition. So what do you all think? Does Clark really deserve Rookie of the Year, or does Reese still have a chance? While you think about that, let's talk about another hot topic: Caitlin Clark's jerseys. Believe it or not, but finding one of her jerseys is harder than finding water in the desert. The women's sports merchandise market is valued at $4 billion, but it seems no one was prepared for the Clark phenomenon. Her jerseys are selling out faster than concert tickets. And look, neither the WNBA nor Nike were properly prepared for this demand. An hour after Clark's draft, practically all jersey sizes were sold out. It's crazy, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. The interest in women's sports is growing overall. The problem is it's still hard to find women's products in physical stores. The supply just isn't keeping up with the demand. Imagine this. People are comparing Clark's impact to what Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Steph Curry did for men's basketball. That's the magnitude we're talking about. Some experts are saying Clark is the biggest individual star in women's sports in the US right now. All this shows that women's sports are gaining more space and recognition. And Clark is at the center of it all, helping to drive this growth. The question is, will the industry be able to keep up with all this demand? We hope so, because many people want a Caitlin jersey. But folks, we've talked about a lot today, but what's coming next? The WNBA season is only halfway through, and we already have so many stories to tell. Think about it. What if Kate Martin's injury is more serious than it seems? How could this affect not just the Aces, but also Caitlin Clark emotionally? And speaking of Clark, will she be able to maintain this incredible pace in the second half of the season? Will teams adapt to her, or will she continue to dominate the courts? The Rookie of the Year race is heating up. Will Angel Reese make a comeback and surprise everyone, or will Clark confirm her favoritism? And we can't forget about the Paris Olympics coming up. Who will represent the USA? Does Clark have a chance to be called up in her rookie year, given that the national team has some injured players? Finally, with all this demand for WNBA products, especially for Clark, will we see changes in how leagues and brands treat women's sports? Will they finally give it the value it deserves? There are many questions left open, a lot for us to follow. What do you think will happen? The second half of this season promises to be even more exciting than the first. You can see how women's basketball is exploding, right? It's an incredible time to be a WNBA fan. We're witnessing history being made with every game. Leave your opinions in the comments. Let's turn this section into a cool discussion about the WNBA. And if you enjoyed this content and want to stay on top of everything happening in basketball, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. See you next time.